Hello, I'm Scarlett, and I've got some top secret information regarding season 1 of Netflix original series Inside Job. Inside Job asks the question, what if every major conspiracy that we've ever thought of is actually true? Creator Shion Takuchi created this series after working on other projects such as Disenchantment and Gravity Falls. Gravity Falls being run by Alex Hirsch, who was also involved in Inside Job. The themes that are similar to Inside Job seem to be women who are coming into power in a fantastical world, and a world of conspiracies and sci-fi fun. The series follows a protagonist loosely based on Takeuchi herself, Reagan, who is a genius workaholic with little to no people skills.
Everyone disappoints you, and that's why you've buried yourself in your work. I may be a cold, calculating machine, but you are too.
The antagonist of the series is Reagan's emotionally distant and manipulative father, Rand, who was one of the founders of a company called Cognito Inc. Cognito Inc. is a deep state organization that secretly controls all the conspiracies that happen in the United States. Its current president is a man named JR, who founded the company along with Rand. Although they had both founded Cognito Inc., JR ended up pushing Rand out of the company after Rand's drinking problem became, well, a problem. However, Cognito is secretly run by a shadow council who controls everything that happens in the deep state. At its core, Inside Job is a half-hour animated office place sitcom, except the office just tends to be a little stranger than most. So how does this series begin? Reagan poised to take over as CEO and president of Cognito Inc. However, she needs to learn to get along with her coworkers and develop her people skills in order to do so. So JR, the president of Cognito Inc., ends up bringing on a man named Brett, who is an underqualified, straight white male with no experience whatsoever. The cast of coworkers includes Dr. Andre, inventor of outlandish pharmaceuticals pushed by the government. Then there's Glenn, the half-dolphin military general who has a violent past. There's also Gigi, the modern fashionista who controls all of social media, and Magic Mike, the sentient psychedelic mushroom from Hollow Earth. The series as a whole is Reagan's journey to discover that she needs other people in her life in order to be successful, and she doesn't need to do everything herself and kill herself in the process. Brett is a huge catalyst for this. He comes in the picture and becomes a bridge between her and the people that she works with.
Can't run without us. You're the charm. I get it now. I actually need a mediocre white man to act as a human shield and social lubricant while I accomplish my real goals.
The antagonist for the season is a robot created by Rand called Barrow, who was originally meant to keep Reagan company as a child and hug her whenever Rand did not want to. For most of the season, we assume that Barrow is an innocent amalgamation of Rand's interesting style of parenting.
Yep, see, anytime you had a problem, I invented something to fix it.
I know what you're thinking. Scarlett is the reason you like the series so much because of the themes of daddy issues going on in Reagan's life that might mirror your own. And what I would say to that is shut the hell up. Although there is some narrative progress with each episode, most of them tend to be hilarious romps through the world of Cognito Inc. The first act seems to center around Reagan and her growing friendship with Brett, who is actively helping her get closer to her coworkers who don't exactly respect her. The second act centers around Reagan's relationship with her father and her very toxic mother. They are put into situations such as the moon landing, where there's a moon colony and a bunch of weird people who originally a sex cult, but now it's a utopia. Anyway, they meet Buzz Aldrin, who's also a horny weirdo, who apparently might also be Reagan's dad. And at some point in that episode, Reagan does believe that Buzz Aldrin might be her father, but even so, still chooses Rand over Buzz Aldrin. Over Buzz freaking Aldrin!
Wait, why is everyone looking so crestfallen? No, it can't be true.
Whether you're you're my dad or not, we are taking you back to Earth.
Personal favorite episode in the entire series being the one where Reagan meets a 007 type who's obsessed with her, but she's not into it at all, so fakes her own death to get away from him, and all of her friends help out, and it's super duper fun.
Wait a second. Reagan? But you're dead.
Yeah, and yet you still stalked me here. I mean, what is it gonna take? I was just trying to avoid being the bad guy.
The third act begins when Barrow goes absolutely haywire and decides that Reagan would be much happier if Cognito Inc. were shut down and all of her co-workers were dead.
I've been watching you, and you are not happy. Look at your cortisol levels, your sleep patterns, your Adderall consumption. You're wasting your life for a company you hate, with coworkers who want to kill you. I'm taking this place down so you can be free.
It's in that last episode that Reagan realizes the extent in which Rand has manipulated her throughout her life, and finally goes to her friends to help defeat the evil Barrow. Even though the narrative premise might seem a little thin and slow going, a lot of the show is just proof of concept of how fun this world is, of every single conspiracy being true. A JFK clone monster? Famous lizard people?
And, of course, a robot president.
That being said, let's take a look at the opening image versus the closing image of the season. Rand ranting outside the White House about conspiracy theories in order to manipulate his daughter into picking him up. In this, we see that she is in a position of power and he has lost all hope. The ending image is almost the opposite, where in a surprising twist of events, Rand had exploited Reagan's weaknesses in order to position himself as the new CEO of Cognito Inc. And here we see him in the position of power, and Reagan now without hope. So in this last episode, right? Okay, Reagan finally overcomes her daddy issues, sets boundaries with Rand, tells him to move out, right? So that she can form healthy relationships with the people around her who are gonna help her accomplish her goal of running Cognito Inc. And you know what? She gets it. She does it. And it's awesome. It's a great triumphant moment until we find out that Rand took it out from under her. He's now running the show. And the question that we're left with is, can she take it back?